Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana Midday.
Hello and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Wes Guffey. President Biden keeps his campaign promise of nominating the first black female Supreme Court justice. He has selected 51-year-old Ketanji Brown Jackson. She currently sits on D.C.'s federal appellate court. She's been considered the front-runner for the vacancy since Justice Stephen Breyer announced his retirement. A source says she received and accepted Biden's offer during a call last night. Though historic, the choice of Jackson will not change the ideological makeup of the court. It currently has 6 conservative justices and 3 liberal justices, with a retiring Breyer in the liberal camp. The family of George Floyd is responding after a federal jury found 3 former Minneapolis police officers guilty of violating his civil rights yesterday. It comes after fellow officer Derek Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, killing him. The 3 other officers all face federal charges of depriving Floyd of his right to medical care. 2 of them also face an additional charge of failing to intervene. Aaron Hassanzeh has more.
This has been a journey. This is just accountability. It can never be justice because I can never get George back.
Inside the courtroom Thursday, some of the jurors were wiping away tears, others clearly emotional. Thomas Lane was too, shaking his head as the verdict came down. Court notes say Tutau and J. Alexander King did not show much emotion, but there was plenty of it from George Floyd's family.
No matter how many times that I pray at night and I think about my brother 24/7, it still is going to be hard, even though we just had a federal conviction and we already had the state conviction.
We'll take this small victory, and smile about it and be happy, but deep down we're still hurting. We want this to stop.
Legal expert Joe Tamburino, who is not affiliated with the case, calls it a resounding conviction.
This will have such a ripple effect throughout the nation, and this could become a precedent. It's also going to cause, I would imagine, a change in training, police training, and laws.
This is a reminder that all sworn law enforcement officers, regardless of rank or seniority, individually and independently, have a duty to intervene and provide medical aid to those in their custody.
More than anything, this is going to hold them accountable and sends a message that says if you murder or use excessive or deadly force, it's consequences that follow.
The 3 former officers are also slated to stand trial this summer for aiding and abetting Chauvin. Chauvin was found guilty of murder last year and pleaded guilty to the federal civil rights charges brought against him. He is currently serving a 22.5-year prison sentence on the state charges. The Russian military has seized the strategic airport outside of Kyiv. The nation claims it cut Kyiv off from the west. Today, European leaders announced new sanctions to punish Russia as many countries continue to condemn the aggression. The Council of Europe also suspending Russia at Europe's leading human rights organization. Some women and children are crossing the border into Poland, but Ukraine has now temporarily banned males between the ages of 18 and 60 from leaving the country. Ukraine's president says Russian sabotage groups have entered Kyiv.
The enemy has marked me as target number 1. My family is target number 2. They want to destroy Ukraine politically by destroying the head of state.
The European Union says it's targeting Russia's financial, energy, and transport sectors, visa policy, and more. Meanwhile, the French president says he's ready to broker a ceasefire, positioning himself as a mediator between the 2 countries.
There was a deliberate, conscious choice by President Putin to launch the war when we could still negotiate peace.
Putin signed a law today that could keep him in power until 2036, letting him run for 2 more 6-year terms. Gas prices have reached record levels in parts of the country after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and Hoosiers could see up to $4 a gallon gas within a couple of days, according to AAA. The current gas price average is $3.33. The U.S. imports and exports gas and oil, and since the market is international, instability overseas could impact consumers no matter where they are in the world.
Global energy prices for a variety of reasons. One is that Russia is a major oil exporting country, and we're likely to put restrictions on that exporting so that they don't use that money to sustain their military.
Gas gas prices in parts of Europe have already gone up by more than 30%. A proposal aiming to repeal Indiana's handgun permit requirement was at least temporarily sidelined in the legislature amid ongoing objections of major law enforcement groups and officials. The Senate Judiciary Committee advanced the bill late Wednesday after 3 GOP senators joined committee Democrats in approving an amendment that a Republican supporter said, quote, guts the bill completely. Senate leaders killed that particular bill yesterday, but said that the issue would still be debated and possibly adopted in the final weeks of this year's legislative session. State Police Superintendent Doug Carter said that if lawmakers, quote, support this bill, you will not be supporting us. The City of Muncie and the Ironman Triathlon event are working on an agreement to hold future events in Muncie. City officials tell Newslink Indiana that details of the agreement are still being finalized. In a board works meeting this week, Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenhour announced the plans to secure this agreement. He said that without one, Ironman has the right to cancel the event at any point. Ridenhour said that the event brings in millions of dollars for local businesses.
Muncie was the only city in all of the Ironman events that did not have a signed agreement. So Ironman could have stopped at any time coming to Muncie. And we just didn't want that to happen. This agreement gives us the Ironman is definitely coming to Muncie in 2022, 2023, and 2024.
According to the Ironman website, the date for this year's competition is October 1st. Now here's a look at your Newslink Indiana forecast. These are the conditions right now. It is 28 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. After yesterday's wintry mix, a gray, cool day is ahead. The high will be about 30 degrees, but at least there won't be any more ice and snow. Now, let's look at the 7-day forecast. Things are going to warm back up, and we'll mostly have a dry stretch. Highs will rise into the 40s and 50s next week. That's going to do it for us this midday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Wes Guffey. Be sure to tune in to Newslink Indiana tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. Have a great rest of your day.